All right, ladies and gentlemen, one thing that I've been doing on my Discord, make sure you join if you haven't already, is open up a Q&A for anything woo-wah related. And with the anniversary coming up, a lot of polls, and a great backdrop over here, I decided, why don't we go ahead and answer some more of those questions? And so with that, let's just go ahead and get started over here and see what we've got in store for us. Hopefully the questions will be maybe a little bit higher quality than last time. So let's just go ahead and see what we got over here. We also got a bunch of new ones, 102. Oh dear. All right, so the very first one. Does Static Mist buff the character you intro into? The passive's wording is a little unclear. It doesn't buff the wielder, but the next character the wielder swaps into, right? Yeah. So when the wielder of Static Mist uses their intro skill or uses their outro skill, the recipient of it, or whoever you intro to, will get the attack buff. So yeah, that's just a very basic one. Is the 3-cost damage or attack percentage better than damage and damage percentage? If not, can you tell me what situation damage percentage and attack percentage is better? Okay, we're gonna have to take Zadi off the screen over here and get into some kits. So there are a couple of units in the game where attack percentage and a 3-cost elemental or attribute damage is better than both. Carlotta is actually one of those units where attack and attribute damage is actually not that bad. So this is the situation. Because Carlotta over here has so much damage bonus built into her Sonata set, her best in slot one. 12% over here, 22.5, and then 36. That's a lot. That's like 70%, 70+% damage percentage that she's getting from her set. And the end result is that having one attribute damage, or Glacio in this case, and then one attack on the 3-cost is like 1 or 2% better than having double Glacio when she's at S0. With her signature as well. You have to have her signature because her signature also gives 48% damage bonus too. And so if you're using something like Static Mist, it's still going to be better to have double attribute damage. But if you just go ahead and you get, what's it called? You know, if you get her sig, then go one attack, one Glacio for optimal performance. Another situation is if you're using a character like Camellia, who also has their signature. Because she's got built-in 15% Havoc damage bonus and a 15% basic attack damage bonus. So that's 30% she's getting just from her kit. And when you combine it with her weapon, this is a situation where you actually do want one Havoc and then one attack. And that's optimal performance at S0. However, when Camellia is S3, where she gets a 58% attack buff while in her budding form, double Havoc still becomes better. So it does shift as you get more sequence nodes for specific units, but Camellia is kind of like the main one where it does actually shift. So keep that in mind. So that's going to be the second example of where it's better. The third one is, of course, Jinxie. And for a similar reason, right? If you have Jinxie's signature, which gives 48% resident skill, then you're going to end up in a situation, right, where her having a 20% spectro damage bonus is going to make it better. And so you can kind of see over here, I've got one spectro and one attack going on. And that's my situation on those two. I should have it on Carlotta, but, well, this roll is so good over here that, yeah, I'm going to use this one instead of an attack when the roll is this good. So that's that. Let's go ahead. Let's get on to the next question. Help me build a team by Arbiter. I just see a Shorekeeper, and these are the weapons. We got Carlotta, Camellia, Xiangli. We got Rosia, Phoebe. I mean, you got plenty of teams you can build over here. I mean, you just run Shorekeeper, Carlotta, and, I don't know, like Tao Chi or Yang Yang. You got Rover over here and Phoebe. That's another team. You got Camellia and Sanhua. That's a third team. Or Camellia and Rosia. That's another team as well. You don't seem to have very many other DPS characters, frankly. So, yeah, just focus on teams using your DPS. Yeah. I would say maybe look to pick up Jeje for your Carlotta and level up that variation, man. Level up and syntonize this variation because you have Arena on Cosmic Ripples. That's probably a way better thing for you to do right now. Photo wasn't crouched well? Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, make sure you level up that Yang Yang for your Carlotta at the current. And yeah, it doesn't really matter. I can see all of the stuff from the level up menu. I would say your Xiangli is not that useful right now, because you don't really have a good dual DPS partner for her. If you are looking to make your Xiangli useful, think about picking up a Brant or a Xiangli Yao on the rerun banners coming in for the anniversary. All right, what else we got here? How often does Saint visit this channel on stream? Well, I'm visiting it right now. Should I go for Xiangli Yao S1 or Sig? Sig. Yep, Xiangli Yao's S1 is not nearly as valuable as his signature. This Sig is one of the best ones in the game for its user because, well, it's a lot of Resonance Liberation damage bonus. His damage is all Resonance Liberation. It's also cheaper because it's guaranteed, unless you're, going from the Coral Shop. And his S1 it's good. His S1 is good, but it's also like, it's just extra damage that his Sig is better. Why is it on Rosia? She needs crit rate. She needs the crit rate. What else? What character should I pull in 2.3? Okay, your Xiangli's like not even built. Okay, you got a short... Okay, your Shorekeeper needs more ER. Your Phoebe is... Oh, God. Oh, my... how about you build your characters? How about, instead of worrying about pulling, you build your units? Oh, my God. Let's just play that again. Okay, so I see you have Xiangli, you have Phoebe, and kind of no other 5 stars, right? You have Xiangli and Phoebe and no other 5 stars. I would say you can definitely consider Zani to use Phoebe with. You could also consider pulling Zani to free up Havoc Rover, and then using them with like a Dan Jin or a Sanhua as well. The situation is right now, you have like the Phoebe and the Xiangli. Phoebe's definitely usable at the moment with a Spectral Rover, so that works as well. But your Xiangli is kind of like in no man's land without a second DPS partner, and you kind of like don't have one on your account. I'm assuming with the types of builds that you have on your units, you're not like a sweaty player, and you might not be like that skill intensive in the game. If you're looking to play Xiangli in an easier way, I would recommend Brant, but Brant is a little bit iffy without his signature. So Brant's a little bit expensive on like the build and the just the equipment side. So it's like, I would say you could just abandon Xiangli too. And then maybe, I'm gonna be honest here, you might think this is crazy, like just pull like a Gian. Because I'm gonna be honest, Gian is probably the most affordable unit in in the banner. The reason why, guys, is that his best support is a 4-star unit. And if you have copies of Mortefi, you have Gian's best in slot team. You might think I'm glazing. It's literally the truth. You have his best in slot team if you have a Mortefi, while every other unit's best in slot team incorporates a 5-star sub DPS character. And so if you want Carlotta's best in slot team, you want Jeja. If you want Phoebe's best in slot team, you'll want Zani. And then if you want Brand's best in slot team, you want Xiangli. If you want Rosia's best in slot team, you want Camellia. If you want Xiangli Yao's, you want Yinlin. If you want Jinxi's, you want Cantarella. Blah, blah, blah. Gian is literally the cheapest 5-star in the game to clear content with. He is literally the cheapest one. And so if you're looking for like literally the best bang for your buck for like a limited character and their Sig, it's quite literally Gian because, well, it's a 4-star unit. That's his best partner. And so that's kind of like the situation over here. It's kind of just the truth of the matter, right? And if he's on his best in slot team, he'll clear all the content in the game. So yeah, that's my take on it. You don't have a lot of characters in the first place, so it's kind of hard to, go from there. Say, for future units, what kind of theme would you like to see? For example, Greek, Roman mythology, steampunk, medieval, etc. I think like some more futuristic stuff could be a little bit interesting. We did get a lot of that in Jinzhou. I like medieval as well, but that's kind of like what we're seeing with like the whole Renaissance theme in Renacida. So maybe like, I'm not particularly sure at this point. I would like some sort of like ancient, like feudal oriental sort of stuff where we have like maybe like ancient Japan, like samurais, that sort of stuff. Maybe like some gothic, some medieval, maybe like some Arabic themed stuff with like I'm trying to think about like the Byzantine Empire, that sort of stuff. There's a lot of different themes to go around. Mecha. It's just, if the character looks cool and it's a cool theme, I'll be interested in it. Yeah, that's just kind of like my take on it. What else we got over here? I'm a free-to-play player. In terms of raw solo damage, no best support. Who does more damage, Xiangli or Gian? Well, this is the thing. You're not going to be in a situation where Gian doesn't have his best in slot support. So it's just, I think the argument is just Gian. Because Xiangli Yao without Yinlin is way worse than Gian with Mortefi. And being in trying to make the argument that Gian doesn't have Mortefi is a little bit ridiculous. Because you should just have a copy of Mortefi at this point. Like, maybe you don't, but it doesn't make a lot of sense not to have one because he's a 4-star unit that you can get off banner, and he's been on so many banners over the lifetime of the game. Like, to not have one copy of him is a little bit ridiculous. Who should I pull for in 2.3? I'm going to get Zani and her weapon and Phoebe, but I'm also planning to get another 5-star. I just don't know who to pull for. Guys, why is it that every person asking for help on who to pull has fucking Xiangli? Guys, Why do you think I've just always said since the start of time this unit is not a recommended pull? I have said since literally day one, do not pull this unit if you're a new player. I've said it over and over and over and over again. Do not pull this unit if you're a new player. I have an entire segment in my new player guide. Do not pull her until your account is older and like more mature, because you'll end up in a rough situation. So I would say Xiangli Yao is probably actually a great pick for this account, but unfortunately you do have a fully leveled up Calcharo. And so Xiangli Yao is just Calcharo Supermax. And so maybe if you've already got like Electro covered and it's fine, it's no big deal. The thing is, Calcharo is probably not a great pick for a newer player as well. And the fact that you have Yinlin means that A, Xiangli Yao is a good pick just for the hyper carry side. Another pick is, well, you have Mortifi, and so Gian's not bad. You have Mortifi, and so Gian is not bad. You also want to pick up Shorekeeper as well, because I don't see her on the account. But I'm just saying, guys, you have his best in slot support. Every other unit's going to require their best in slot support, or to get the same performance that Gian will have on Mortifi. You also have Yang Yi and Tao Chi, so Carlotta's not a bad idea either. You also have Yinlin. And so if you're trying to make Jinxie work, that's also a possibility. You can think about that as well. What else? But yeah, Xiangli Yao over here. You can also think about Brant to work alongside your Xiangli, if that's something that you want. But from what I'm seeing over here, those would probably be the highest priority picks to build out as many teams as possible. So yeah, guys, what you'll begin to notice is that Gian is one of the best new player pulls in the game.
Gian's Hills versus Xiangli bots.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm just spitting facts over here, guys. I'm literally just spitting facts. If Camellia was on banner, I would be recommending her as well. Okay? If Camellia was on banner, I'd be recommending her as well, but she simply is not. Okay? It's not that deep, guys. It's not that deep. Okay?
Problem with Gian is that he is a dude.
Alright, I'm turning alerts off. Just a quick question, but is Xiangli necessary for Brant? Although I have Sano on SK for him already, my other team is Verena and Camellia with the future Rosia. So, this is my take on it. Xiangli needs Brant more than Brant needs Xiangli. Brant does enough damage as a hyper carry in a team with Sanhua or even Rosia that he'll just clear all the content in the game being played as a hyper carry. If you play Xiangli as a hyper carry, no, that's not happening, bro. Yeah, let's just say in the TOA, if you're playing Hypercarry Xiangli, that's not happening, bro. Yeah, that's a huge L for you. So I would say Xiangli is not necessary for Brant. If you already have him with Sanhua and SK, bro, you're fine. And the thing is, if you're using Sanhua with Brant, then yeah, pulling Rosia to use with Camellia is not a bad idea either. Saint, please tell me about this. Is this weapon even 80% as good as String Master? Can I do anything with it? Is it at least a good stat stick for Phoebe? It's an okay stat stick for Phoebe. It's not like awful. It's not terrible. Like, you still get a basic attack damage bonus on Phoebe. She does like some of them. She does like a couple of them. So it's not like the worst thing ever, but String Master is way better. And of course, her Sig is way better too. So yeah, String Master is definitely a way more valuable pick. I would always give the advice, don't even pull Whispers of Sirens and just pull String Master instead. It's usable on way more characters. Yeah, Phoebe does a little bit of basic attack damage, but it's like, it's not a lot. It's not a lot, guys. Hey, I would like to know, is double crit build an option if I don't have the signature weapon? I'm assuming by double crit, you mean having like 4-4-1-1-1. 4-4-1-1-1 is just always worse than 4-3-3-1-1, because you'll just want to run, like, instead of crit damage without the Sig, just run crit rate. Just run like crit rate. But the thing is, right, if you also have, let's just say a Sig or a weapon like Emerald of Genesis that gives crit, well, you can just run a crit damage forecast and like the same thing. But yeah, if your weapon doesn't give crit rate, just run a crit rate forecast. And your crit damage is going to be like, what? Like 227. This is actually a good example of what a non-crit weapon would look like. What the build would look like with a non-crit weapon. This is what it would look like, essentially. 70% crit rate, and then like 227, right? 230, 220, 210 crit damage. How old is Saint? To be determined. Changing every day. Saint is 244% crit damage on Brant, good, and going 300 ER on him, good. Yeah, you don't need to go above 280. You don't need to go above 280, and 244 is pretty fucking high. I wonder what your crit rate is, though. Why do you call Glaive Keo the number 2 Kurobot? Because I'm the number 1. Do you think Wuwa will ever do a collaboration skin for Calcaro? No, he's a fucking dog shit standard unit. Who should I pull for in 2.3? I'm torn between getting one of the Spectro or DPSs and Brant and their signature. Holy shit. I mean, you basically got everybody at this point. I mean, if you want to pull Zani, then you want to pull Phoebe as well. You've got Mortefi, you got Gian, you got Yinlin, you got Carlotta. You could pull for Jinxie if you want, but it might be better to pull for Zani because your Jeja's already being used with Carlotta. So maybe like Phoebe and Zani is like a cool one to go for. Xiangli is kind of just like not a good idea on this account. Brant's okay though, because you do have like the Sanhua ready on deck to go. You got Shorekeeper too. I mean, I'm looking over here. Yeah, I would just say no Rosia. Terrible idea. Carlotta you already have. Xiangli's a no. Jinxie is suspect because you don't have Cantarella. Yeah, you already have all of these except Phoebe. So I would say Phoebe and Zani or Brant. I mean, that's kind of like it. Phoebe and Zani or Brant. That kind of seems like it for me. Should I pull for Carlotta C2 or the win? I mean, I'm always in the boat of pull more units instead of sequence nodes. So I would say, yeah, Wind Pistol Girl. For endgame content, is it worth it to max Verena's Forte in Liberation? Nope. Unless you're getting hit a lot. Do you think John Shin has a reliable... Nope. Would you be willing to let me showcase to you the damage output of my S6 Cancerella Hypercarry team? I'm sure she does a lot. Don't worry. Saint, how does my Carlotta and Phoebe are already good, or should I still try to improve it? I mean, this is fine. Maybe more ER if you don't have Jeja. You do have her, though, so that's fine. Okay, bro. This is just a flex. All right, you're just flexing, bro. What in the fuck is that? They both have 300% critical damage. When is the next AMA video? Well, you're in it right now, bucko. Who should my next pull be with the upcoming banners? Another Xiangli owner. Okay, we got Xiangli. We got the Carlotta team. We have the Xiangli Yao Yinlin team. We have the Gian Mortefi team. You could pull Phoebe and Zani if you're feeling a little bit excited about that. You could also pull Brant to work alongside Xiangli. You could also pull Phoebe, just Phoebe, to work alongside Spectral Rover, but it probably isn't that good because you already have Spectral coverage with Jinxie. So, yeah, it's probably actually Brant. Yeah, it's probably actually Brant. I'm not even joking. If you want the highest value pull, it's probably Brant. Yeah, that would be my take. What should I pull next, or what does my account need? I can't clear TOA and Weewa, by the way, so maybe any advice? The only upcoming unit I'm looking forward to is Cartithia, if she is a fleur-de-lis, that is. Alright, you got Brant. You don't need Xiangli, because you could just... I mean, you're clearly already using the Sanhua team. You might want to actually pull Rosia, so you can keep using Brant. Or you pull Xiangli, so Brant and Xiangli, and then Sanhua gets freed up for Camellia. So, it's kind of a choice right now. Do I choose Rosia, so that I can use Sanhua Brant, or do I choose Xiangli, so I can use Sanhua Camellia? You can kind of decide which one you want to do, because right now, if you're using this team, you don't have a team for Camellia. So that's kind of like the situation over here. I would just, decide from there what you want to do. You obviously have the Gian team. You could also think about pulling Yinlin for Xiangli Yao if you want. And you could also pull Xiangli to also work with Xiangli Yao. So there's a couple of options, right? But those are probably like the main key priority ones to strengthen out those teams at the moment. So I have Cancerella, Phoebe, Encore, and Yinlin. Is it worth pulling Stringmaster? Yes. Yeah, that's 4 units that use it. Yeah. My SK Echo is HP, ER, Spectro, HP. Okay, sounds about right. You don't need to... If she's at 230, yeah, you're good, bro. Yeah, she's like, what? You're gonna grind like crazy so that her Liberation does 5,000 more damage? That's kind of just what... If she's at 230% ER, she's good. Which character and which weapon should I pull next? Bro, you have like every single fucking unit. Like, who do you not have? You don't have Brant and Rosia. I mean, you could just pull Zani. Yeah, Zani, Brant, or Rosia. Those are kind of like the main ones, or even fucking Gian. Brant, Zani, Rosia, or Gian. Depends on which team you want to do better. I don't know if I should go for Brant or Carlotta. I believe if I go for them, I should have both their weapons too. So Carlotta doesn't really need her weapon as long as you have Static Mist. She'll perform just fine. But Brant kind of really wants his. And so keep in mind that you're mainly doing it to make Xiangli a lot stronger. You also could use Brant with Sanhua too. So I would say between the two, you have Brant's best in slot team if you pull him and his weapon. If you pull Carlotta, you don't have the best in slot team because you need Jeja. So Brant's a lot easier to get like up and going on this account compared to Carlotta. You enlighten us on how to roll echoes efficiently. Depends on the resources you have. Depends on the resources you have. If you have a lot of tubes, go to plus 20. If you don't have a lot of tubes, go to like plus 10 or 15. Can you please review my account? Maybe. When will Veronica I don't even know who that is. What character makes the biggest changes to their team's lineup at higher cons? Maybe Shorekeeper, because she lets you use, like, teams that are less built. I want Cartithia, but I don't know when Carlotta's weapon will be back. I mean, you could just pull her on the anniversary banner. And Carlotta's probably rerunning in 2.4 as well, because that's when her skin is. So, yeah. My assumption is that Carlotta and Xiangli are gonna rerun in 2.4 right after the anniversary, because, well, that's when their skins are. Is there anything good to get from these? They're all garbage. Yeah, it's all garbage. Is it worth it to pull Jeja for Carlotta if I already have S3 Brant as a sub DPS? S3 Brant is a main DPS. I feel his skill buff and personal damage would outshine Jeja in this case, but I'd like your opinion on this. I'm gonna be real. You should just use Brant as a main DPS if he's S3, and you could maybe think about pulling Jeja to just be the sub DPS for Carlotta, because I'm just gonna be real. And S3 Brant does so much damage, he probably should just get supported by Sanhua to be a main DPS. You shouldn't be using an S3 Brant as a support or as a sub DPS. He's more than capable of blowing stuff up on his own. I have 2 signature weapons for Shorekeeper. Luck on double. Is it better to have an R2 weapon or build both separately and give one to Verena? So Verena does not even use this weapon well at all. Verena actually can't activate its attack buff because her skill doesn't heal. And so if you have 2 Shorekeeper weapons, you could put one on Baija, but then why the fuck are you using Baija? And you could also use... It's a little bit weird. I mean, if you have variation, you could just syntonize it. But I would just hold a copy at level 1 just in case there is a character in the future that's a support that can use it. Like, maybe one day there will be somebody, and so it'll be nice having 2 Stellar Symphonies. The difference between 1 and 2, like synchronization rank 1 and 2 for Stellar Symphony is so low. I would just say hold on to the copy. So, and have the copium that maybe one day there will be another rectifier support that can use it. That would be my take. What a waste of Astrite. Bro got a luck on a double, so he just got lucky. Hey, Saint, started Wuwa not too long ago, trying to build a solid team for solid team. I got Shorekeeper, of course, not because she's the meta support, but she has a unique attitude and design. What does that mean? Anyways, who should I try pulling for next? I can't see your account, so I can't answer that question. But, I mean, just pull a DPS character and you'll probably be fine. Is this the new region? I don't know. Maybe, probably. Yeah, if you can't go there, probably. I recently discovered that Capitanius actually provides more personal stats. That being said, my question is actually regarding the percent spectral damage that both echoes deal. What is that percent based off of? Your attack. Hey, Saint, can you make the video about Arrow Rover? He sucks ass. Who should I pull for the what? I'll make a video on him when he's not bad. Who should I pull for the 1-year anniversary right now? I'm cooked in TOA and Whimpering Waste because of Peebs and Rucka. I haven't even used because she's trash. The only 5-star I got is Jeshi's. Please help. So, the number one issue over here is the fact that you pulled 2 limited Spectro DPSs. And that's kind of like an issue from the perspective of you already had Jinsei as the Spectro DPS, and then you also pulled Phoebe, who's another Spectro DPS. And so you have a very low amount of attribute coverage on your account. You got Brant too. I would say, bro, like, okay, first and foremost, this team is... Oh, I hope you're not using this team often, because you need a coordinated attacker or Jinsei. Hey, I'm gonna be real, man. The amount of advice that I would need to give based off of this is too much. Bro, I think you just gotta read a character guide on all the 5-stars you have in your account. I just suggest you watch my videos. Just watch my videos and guides on each of these units. Because at this point, if you're using Sanhua with Jinsei, we're a little bit too cooked here. This deserves its own video. Hey Saint, I was planning on pulling String Master for Peeb. If she is Zani's best in slot sub DPS, should I bother? Confession Peeb damage where? So the reason why you would want to pull Phoebe's signature is because it has a bonus whenever you use an outro skill. It amplifies the spectral damage, the spectrofrazzle damage on targets around the active resonator by 30%, which is a lot. Amplification is a lot. And a part of Zani's kit is that she instantly deals all spectral damage or all spectral frazzle damage at once. And so she actually makes use of this. There is no unit in the game that actually makes use of this well. So the end result is that Phoebe's Sig is like a Zani damage amplifier. So yeah, that's a reason why you might want to pull it.
How should I pull for the upcoming banners? Currently using Carlotta, Sanhua, and SK, and...
Why are you using Carlotta and Sanhua? And Jinsei, Yanwu, Baija. Oh god. And Xiangli, Verena. Okay. And I max out 26 out of 30 for my TOA. So, first things first, when it comes to the TOA, you should really like try to do a couple of things when it comes to the TOA. And it's pretty simple what I'm going to show you. I see that you're using 3 supports. Just go ahead and don't actually use a support until you're on the final stage. Don't use a support until you're on the final stage. Just use 1 unit or like 2 units. Right? Same exact thing that you see going on over here. Just one or 2 units until you get to the last one. Then you use a support. And then in the middle tower, right? You'll use the leftover supports over here, so you only need 2 of them. So the fact that you're saying you have 3 supports built is kind of the issue, because Jinsi with Baizha sucks ass. You'd rather have a Verena in there, and you don't need the support helping out with the first 3 sides. First 3 floors of the tower. You can just, you know, play better. Genuinely, right? Just dodge and stuff because the enemies don't have very much HP. So that would probably be my advice for you when it comes to that. And then, yeah, you only need 2 supports built to do all of the final floors. And you don't need supports for the prior ones. Who should I pull for next season? Literally fucking anybody. You have like 1 limited character on your account. Like literally almost anybody. Genuinely. You have 2 limited characters. But yeah, like legitimately, probably, I mean, if you want a full team, again, guys, Mortefy is so common that even the guy that pulled on 2 banners in the fucking game has Mortefy. He pulled on 2 banners in the game and he has Mortefy. Like, if this guy has it, everybody should, okay? So you could just pull Gian, and he will be the most affordable unit for this account. Bro pulled on 2 banners and still has him. At least you have Shorekeeper and... Yeah, this guy's cooked. All right. You think the permanent banner for the character is a little useless? Yeah, because, yeah, just pull on the weapon banner. That's my advice. Never actually pull on the character banner. Never actually pull on this thing, because you'll lose 50-50 and get these characters. Just spend all your pulls on the weapon, and then, yeah, lose 50-50s to get the standard units. All right, what else we got over here? Hey, Saint. When is the oiled up stream? In your dreams. Hey, Saint. Your videos are indeed cool. Keep up the good work. Question. Free-to-play account with S6 art... Bro, whoever the fuck you want. Like, whoever you want, bro. Would like advice on who next to S... Whoever you want, bro. It's not like you're clearing the TOA anyways with one unit. Where's the viewer TOA tour to YouTube upload? It's taken a while. It's taken a while. That one's on a bit of a back burner. Team suggestion, please. I need to clear content. I wonder why. Stop using this unit. I'm serious. Stop using this unit, bro. You don't have a good team for her. And the thing is, guys, using Xiangli and Xiangli Yao in a way that doesn't suck ass is like, it requires so much time investment and skill investment that like, it's not achievable for like 97% of players. If you want her to be usable, you need to like pull Brent, unless you're willing to like spend literally 10 hours practicing. I'm not joking. You need to spend like 10 hours practicing this unit with Xiangli. Otherwise, it's just like not good. So yeah, make the Camellia team with Sanhua, make the Jinsi team with Cantarella, make the Gian team with Mortefy, and you're like good. That's 3 teams. Guys, stop telling me to use Xiangli Carlotta also sucks if you're not going to spend 10 hours practicing it. Xiangli Carlotta also sucks if you're not going to spend 10 hours practicing it. Legitimately, it's not good. Why are we still talking about Carlotta Xiangli, guys? It's not a good team compared to every other team those 2 units have. It's not good. It's literally worse than Carlotta with the 4-star and then Xiangli with the 4. Or maybe it's okay for Xiangli, but Carlotta with 4 stars is better than Carlotta Xiangli. I'm 90% sure a Carlotta with Tao Chi plays faster than Carlotta with Xiangli. And guys, that's why I literally said it requires a massive amount of time investment to play it in a way where it doesn't clear slower than a 4-star unit. I already clarified that. And so, no, don't just say,
oh, you just can't quick swap. You just can't quick swap, bro. That's why you're saying that.
No, I literally clarified you need to spend a fuck ton of time learning the team. Let's not play any games here, okay? Should I go for S2 Shorekeeper or S2 Carlotta? Just get more characters. Just get more characters, bro. Is HP or crit damage forecast better on SK for intro skill? Get crit damage, if you care about the damage. Everyone will spend the time for Xiangli, let's be real. Yeah, that's why every person asking for help building teams has Xiangli on the account. Yep, that's why every single person asking for advice on who to pull or what teams to build has Xiangli on the account. There's literally videographic proof right here that 90% of the ones that have been asking for help on like on pulling and team building have Xiangli. 90% of them. It's literally right here. What do you want me to say at this point? This is actually no war, only facts. Oh, you just can't quick swap. Yeah, neither can these dudes. And that's why they're all asking for help. Do realize if you're quick swapping in this game, you're literally in like the 2% of players that do. You're literally in like the 2% of players, probably less, that are playing like that. Okay. Is Zani an upgrade to S1, R2, Peeb, or a downgrade? I mean, it's always going to be an upgrade, right? Because Phoebe's team without Zani is a fucking free unit, Spectro Rover. So yeah, it's the limited unit will be an upgrade, 1,000,000%. Who is the best girl for Rover for romance? Probably Shorekeeper. Should I go Carlotta S3 or pull Jeja, bro? Jeja is way better than Carlotta's S3 for Carlotta's damage. Partithia or Shorekeeper? Get Shorekeeper. For a new account, which 5-star is the best to pick up besides Peeb? This guy is just fishing. Nah, this bro Marcel's just fishing. It's Gian. I have Carlotta, Jeja, Jinxie, Xiangli Yao, Shorekeeper, and Phoebe. I'm gonna pull Zani in her weapon. Should I pull Stringmaster or Camellia? I have Emerald and Genesis. I mean, pull Stringmaster, bro. You have Phoebe and Jeja, they can both use it. Should I get Jeja for Carlotta? Yeah, if you want Carlotta's best performance, yeah, Jeja's good. Also, what's the best page for builds? You can read my Carlotta and Jeja guide. What kind of character kit would you like to see in the game? Like fighting style or theme? I want to see somebody that fists the enemies. Like a martial artist that just like punches the shit out of them. Like a Yan Wu that doesn't suck ass. Verdant Summit or The Last Dance. I have both Standard Gun and Broadblade. I want Stringmaster, but I have no Rectifier DPS at all, so I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, don't do it then. Also, should I skip all weapons and pull Jeja? Well, if you pull Jeja, then you want Stringmaster, so you're a bit of a catch-22 there, bucko. You don't want Stringmaster, but then you'll want it after you pull Jeja, so that's how it is. Verdant Summit or The Last Dance? I would say Verdant Summit is better for your account than The Last Dance because the standard gun has crit rate built into it, and the standard Broadblade does not. So I would just say Verdant Summit, from that perspective, could be a better one. Would you recommend someone to invest in Wuthering Waves while using a phone? I mean, tons of people can play it on the phone. They love playing it on the phone. They have fun playing it on the phone. So not a bad idea at all if you want to take the time to learn it. Do you think Peeb can work with Partithia? Stop. When do you think Calculator and Geshu-Lin will be introduced in the story? I don't know. 3.0? Hey, so I plan on starting a gacha YouTube channel. As a newbie to soon join the space, do you have any advice or words of wisdom? Work hard. Eat smart. Yeah. Make good thumbnails. That'll be the last bit of advice. Any recommendation on what I should pull in the anniversary banner? Planning to clear all endgame content, and if I plan to pull Zani, should I also pull Phoebe's weapons as well? Oh, dear. I mean, if you're going to pull Zani, then yeah, you're not going to have, like, that much. You're not going to have that much to deal with. This is the thing, right? You'll have Spectro coverage over here. You got the Glacio going on over here. You could pull Jeja to make the Carlotta team stronger. You could pull Gian to simply have arrow damage in the first place. I would just say don't think about pulling Jinxie, because, well, you already have Phoebe, and you're thinking about pulling Zani, so pulling Jinxie would just be excessive. And, yeah, I mean, those would seem to be, like, the best options to me. Gian, Jeja, Zani. You could think about pulling Brant to actually use this Sanhua properly, because, guys, Sanhua is not that good of a support for Carlotta, okay? Because Carlotta does not deal basic attack damage. She does not deal any of that. And so Sanhua's outro skill is functionally doing nothing on this team. I'm at 50 pity, not guaranteed on the unit and 40 on the weapon. Think about pulling Phoebe and Zani. If I ever have some extra pulls left, who should I pull? I don't spend. Well, think about it this way. Pulling Phoebe and Zani is one of the most least efficient things in the game. I'm going to be real here. Zani is a free-to-play trap. From the perspective of, there are actually way better units that you'll get a much bigger bang for the buck from. And the fact of the matter is that Gian is still 100%, if you're a new player, probably way better to pull. Because his best in slot team, once again, is with a 4-star unit. And Zani's best in slot will be with Phoebe, right? And so with Phoebe on banner, right, you're going to be pulling 2 units to build 1 team. Versus, you could pull Phoebe and wait for Zani's rerun. You could do that. You could pull Zani and just use her with Spectro Rover and see if that team works. And so you could just go for it. Or you could go with a safer, secure option of what actually works. You could also do not pull this unit if you're new. she's a bait. Brant is a little bit of a bait if you're new. Carlotta is okay if you're new. Jinxie is all right if you're new because you can use Yan Wu, but that team is really fucking bad compared to every other one. Xiangli Yao is kind of a bait as a newer player. Jeja's useless if you don't have a DPS that works with her. Yinlin's also useless if you don't have a DPS that works with her. Phoebe is good with Spectral Rover, and so you could think about just using Phoebe instead, and then not pull Zani and just pull Phoebe first, because we know Phoebe is good with Spectral Rover. And so my picks would be Gian, Phoebe, or Carlotta. Those would be my recommendations. Those would actually be my recommendations. Alrighty, if I want to pull Cartithia, I should also go for Kachota. I don't know either of their kits. Should I go for S1 Shorekeeper or Stringmaster? Stringmaster. Hi, Uncle Saint. I want to ask if I should be getting Yinlin or Jeja with the current state of this roster. Yinlin or Jeja? Jeja. If Cantarella's kit was full DPS, I'm saying Jeja because you have 2 characters that can use her. Yinlin, you have 1. Jeja's a best in slot for these 2. Yinlin is the best in slot for Xiangli Yao, and then, like, whatever for Jinxie. So that's why I'm saying Jeja. Alright, if Cantarella's kit was full DPS, do you think players would like it better than a multi-role kit? Let me go survey the Wuthering Waves player base. Hey guys! Would you guys like Cantarella? I don't know. How am I gonna find out, right? There's no way for me to know. It is what it is, man. Alright. I think that's enough questions for this Q&A for today. Getting a lot of like repetitive ones. I do think that if you watch this video, if you've been listening to the discussion, I think you'll be able to look at the state of your account and decide from there what the answers should be moving forward for yours. And so we've been answering questions for like almost an hour at this point. I kind of want to move on to some other stuff. And so we'll see y'all next time for this next Q&A. And we'll pick up around from here. So with that, let me know what you all think. Peace.